Okay, so let's get started. We're going to be taking a look at setting up and working with our output control with our Link G5 and G4X systems. We're specifically going to be taking a look at setting up 4 different examples for on-off output control. The next training module, we're going to be looking at some specific examples of setting up pulse width modulated output control. We've discussed the differences between our on-off control and pulse width modulated control in our last training module. So we're going to be focusing just on on-off in this training tutorial. This is the most common type of output you'll be programming and working with. So we're going to jump into, again, 4 different examples so you get a good mix of what the conditions represent and just understanding some of the programming details so you can make sure your output is working properly. What we're going to do is move from the fuel tuning page and let's jump over here into our output control. Now in here, we can find that we have a lot of things predefined within the outputs that we can actually configure with Link. So when we're looking at really common outputs such as cooling fan, they're going to be calling that engine fan, or fuel pump control, they're going to be found in these predefined windows where we have certain conditions that are set up for us already that make sense for controlling something like an engine fan, a cooling fan, or something like a fuel pump control. We're dealing with something like VTEC that's specific to a Honda engine. We'll be using a general purpose output for accomplishing the task for VTEC. So we have to understand some of the specific conditions and needs to turn on or off the VTEC functionality. We also have other things not found in this window. So for example, if you don't see what you're looking for in terms of your output control, you can drop into your ECU settings and go here into your auxiliary outputs and see if there's something that's already predefined from Link. Now, if you're looking for something like AC control, AC clutch control to turn on an AC clutch to engage the AC and turn it on or off, you're going to have to jump down here into chassis and body. We're going to find that that is available right here. We'll be talking about that towards the later portion of the tutorial. Let's first just jump in here and take a look at one of the most basic things for output control in the on-off type of format. That's going to be our fuel pump control. Now, fuel pump control method, we can go in here, we can double click. We're going to have a bunch of different options. We can control multiple type of relays. We can see 2-speed, 3-speed relay control, pulse width modulated type of control. We can pulse width modulate the actual fuel pump control modules. Some vehicles have that, and we can actually start to work with that. Let's just keep it simple right now in terms of programming our fuel pump. And let's look at standard control. That's just an on or off. Do we want the fuel pump to run or not? Let's go here and click OK. Now, the output, we need to define what output we're using, where we have wired the auxiliary output to control the fuel pump. Now, fuel pumps are going to be drawing anywhere from 5 to 20 amps. We absolutely have to have a relay between the Link and the fuel pump. So in this case, I'm going to be grounding my relay and I'm going to be grounding it with the output auxiliary 1. You'll have to note which output you've used in terms of your wiring to the relay from the Link to turn on the fuel pump. Now, you'll find on the actual relay itself, you're going to see a couple different numbers on the bottom of the actual relay. So we're going to see 85, 86, 30, and 87. We're going to have power coming into 30. That's our battery power. We're going to find that pin 86 is going to be, because we're going to low side, we haven't talked about that yet, but the output type is going to be a low side control. We're going to be grounding the relay. We're going to find that pin 86 is going to get 12 volt supply. Pin 85 is going to be what's grounded. And the internal switching mechanism in the relay happens when pin 86 and pin 85 are energized. So one gets 12 volt, the other gets ground in this case. So we energize it. The power is going to flow through pin 30 and come out pin 87. Pin 87 is going to be what sends power to the fuel pump. So there's going to be no current load on the actual Link output. All we're doing is simply grounding the relay. The relay is handling the switching and the load current going to the pump. We also have to chassis ground the pump. So pretty simple in terms of how we wire everything. So let's go ahead and choose auxiliary 1 for the output. And the next thing is going to be the actual activation state. Again, I'm grounding the relay, so I'll choose my low output state here. Now, if we're wiring the relay where we're going to be powering the relay, that's going to be setting it up a little bit different state. We would use a high side out. The difference between low is ground. the high is 12 volt out. So depending on how you wire your relay, you'll choose either low or high side out. Typically when I'm wiring relays in, I'll be choosing low and I'll be setting up my relay to accept a low or ground trigger to turn that device on. So I'm going to go ahead and click low. The other things that we're left with here in terms of taking a look at this, we have our auxiliary 1 test.
Thanks for checking out our teaser clip. If you want to see the rest of this video and more than 500 hours of current EFI training we have to offer, make sure you click right here. If you want to go and check out more teaser clips from this training course, click here, and you don't want to miss any of the videos we're going to be releasing on this channel, so make sure you subscribe and click here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.